As a small business owner, you are wearing the CEO hat and you are also wearing the hat of a corporate sales head, which means that you are the only person responsible for bringing in the business, generating the revenue, and spearheading your business towards consistent sales and growth. And in the process, you have to make decisions at every other step. So let's look today as to how you can make better business decisions. Fall in love with selling as you acquire the right mindset, selling style, and sales process that helps you take your business solution to more prospects, potential clients, and the world at large. If you are a women entrepreneur who is looking to get more sales, scale, and sustainability in your business, you have reached the right place. I'm Roshni Baronia, your host for the show Ace the Sales, which is all about helping you bring your authentic and influential self to each sales conversation. On any given day, there are many considerations to be factored in and multiple decisions to be made every single time. From which offer or service to put out, to which client to reach out to, whom to hire, what kind of a content strategy you should have in your business, where to spend your time, whether it should be going into generating leads or to serving existing clients, where to invest and what kind of an expense you would be able to sustain in the coming months, whether you would like to read an article that imparts knowledge or would you like to just scroll through your social media? Well, yes, every one of us is guilty of the second one. But of course, this is also a decision. This is also a choice that you have to make, whether you want to spend your time on Instagram or whether you want to read a knowledgeable article. But the truth is that there is no one single way of making a decision because they are never black or white. There is always many layers of strategic considerations and impact assessment to be done for every decision. Of course, not every decision takes that much of a rigor. But then, of course, when you are a business owner, you have to have a mechanism which will guide you into making better decisions. So decision making is always a process. And I have, over a period of time, as being an entrepreneur for 11 years, I have developed many decision making processes for myself which have worked for me. And those are the principles that I'm going to share with you today. So these are 5 principles which have worked for me always. There are many management gurus out there who will give you some matrices and quadrants which will help you in making better business decisions. But here are few which I am sharing purely based on my experiences and how I have learned to take better business decisions. So let's get started with the first one. So the first thing which helps you in making better business decisions is data. Leveraging data to see what is actually happening within your business. And trust me, I have learned this the very hard way because in my first business, which was an e-commerce portal, I was doing retailing of products, gifting products through a website. And I was also having an in-house manufacturing which was supporting that retail business. And we were always running full capacity, but the account books were not showing proportionate profit. And I was like, what is happening? And this was like, I'm talking about 9 years ago. So this was something which I was not able to get my head around as to why is this happening. So I reached out to a mentor to seek help and take his inputs as to what is going wrong in my business. What am I messing up with? So he introduced me to the language of numbers and he introduced me to understanding the data, taking out the numbers, which city you are having most orders with, where are you spending most of your purchases in. So and a lot of other surveys and a lot of other deep diving into the numbers we did. And that entire exercise helped me in optimizing my inventory and running targeted promotions because I was able to understand which cities are giving me the best response, which products are more in demand, which colors and designs even move fast. So all this helped me in decreasing my cost and increasing the demand, because I was able to design my business strategy according to those numbers. The same way, you should also have a data-driven approach, which will show you what kind of a next step you need to take in your business. So for example, how many leads you are going to get every month, what channel is working best for you, what kind of a customer persona has the fastest conversion rate, which kind of social media posts do well for you, what kind of questions and discovery calls helps you get through your client in the most effective way. And all of this can be studied in a very, very simple manner. And the easiest way to find these numbers are the digital platforms itself, because most of the digital platforms are now giving basic amount of analytics. And depending on the business you have, you can of course choose the kind of numbers, the data, or the which kind of analytics is best suited for your business. What is it that you want to track? And in case you are not aware about what kind of a metrics you should be monitoring in your business, I have a free cheat sheet with the 24 topmost KPIs which a small business owner should be monitoring in her business. So that is available as a free download. You can go to roshnibaronia.com/KPI. So yeah, that's about the data-driven approach, that you should know according to your business what are the key 5 to 10 things that you should be monitoring, and keep a track of the numbers, whether they are increasing, decreasing. And this understanding, just observing of this number, will give you an idea of where you should invest your time, money, and resources. Because of course, as small business owners, you are stressed for those things. So data and studying these data, just observing these numbers, will help you take a better business decision. The second thing is being aware of your blind spots. Now, these are the things which you know you will overlook or you will not pay attention to at the right time. Trust me, this is something you will tell, no, I don't have any blind spots, but everyone has blind spots. There are things which we tend to avoid, which we do not want to confront, and we just keep postponing those decisions. We know we have to make that decision like yesterday, but we just not commit to making that decision. And here's the truth bomb. Here's why we do not do it. Because of our past experiences, which haven't been that good. Because probably you might have taken a similar kind of decision in the past and it didn't work out well, and now you are afraid about repeating that bad experience again, getting into that bad shit again. So maybe you have hired a digital marketing agency who squeezed money out of you but did not deliver the results. And now you are so burnt out with that entire experience and the haggling that you do not want to invest again with any digital marketing agency. But you need one in your business, right? And that one experience is coming in your way of making the decision of hiring that agency. A good solution to come out of such kind of situation is to seek assistance in form of a referral. So reach out to your friends, your business buddies, experts, mentors who can help you in making this decision. Take help from people whom you trust to give you that suggestion, that recommendation, or refer people whom they trust, who they know will deliver results, and probably it will help you make better decisions. Third up is determining the worst case scenario. Now think about the maximum you can lose and answer for yourself. If that's the worst that can happen to me, will I be able to build myself up from that place? So it's like, if suppose you take a decision and hell breaks down and everything goes wrong, are you ready to start from scratch? If things don't work out, are you willing to get them back on track from ground zero? Now, this one always gives me a clear picture because it helps me in understanding how willing I am to go in for that decision. If I'm ready to put myself to 100% commitment to that decision, then yes, I will go ahead with that. So if you are able to ask yourself, what's there to lose? And if that's the price I'm going to pay, am I ready for it? And once you decide that yes, I am willing to give my 100% commitment to it, then you will come up with solutions as to what will it take for me to start from ground zero. So this is sort of coming up with a mitigation plan if this happens, if this risk is there, what is my contingency plan to control that risk? Now, this entire process, of course, takes a lot of due diligence and perseverance, but eventually it always pays off, because if you know the worst case scenario and you have a plan as to what you will do in that worst case scenario to build yourself up from ground zero, then you are sorted. Next thing you need to ask yourself is, what are the key outcomes or the results you are looking for? So what are your objectives? The baseline, which if met, you can say that that particular decision has worked out for me. Now, there have been multiple times that I have invested in a coaching program, and I'm sure you also do. And it is not humanly possible for any one of us to practice or implement each and every tool, technique, or mantra or advice that the coach has shared with us. But before even going into any such program, I always list out the top 3 transformations that I am looking for myself. Now, of course, any coaching program, any training program, or any service provider for that matter will promise the world to you. But for me, I defined what that point A to point B is for me. What is it that is success for me? And if I am able to reach that point B, that is success for me. That program, of course, will have the capacity to take me to point C, D, E, H, L also. And if I get there, great, that's a bonus. But what is the success for me? So clearly define before going into that decision that what are the key outcomes, what are the key objectives you are looking for, which will help you in calling that decision to be a success. Because nothing in this world is 100%. So whether you reach the 60% mark, 70% mark, 80% mark, what is it? What is the benchmark of success for you when you are taking up that service, or whether you are going in for a coaching program, or you are making a purchase of whatsoever decision you are making? So of course, there is a varied genre of decisions that we make as a business owner, but you always have to evaluate the benchmarks. What are the benchmarks of success? What are the key outcomes that you are looking for? And if these basic outcomes, these basic 3, 4, 5 objectives are met, then it is a success. Beyond that, it is a bonus. And lastly, which is my favorite, is using your 3 brains. The 3 brains that are the head, heart, and gut. Yes, researchers have come up with a new finding that we make decisions using not 1, but 3 brains. That is the head, heart, and gut. It is but natural that depending on the nature of the decision involved, one brain will take precedence of the other. And the key lies in allowing that to happen. So when my gut says no to a particular decision, I will not take it. It happened once that there was a very good client that I was about to sign up, but my gut was saying, my heart was saying that no, this is not a right fit. I will not be able to work with this client because something was going wrong in the kind of conversation we were having. And behaviorally, I could see we were not a right fit. So although my head was cursing me for the money I was leaving on the table, but my heart was saying that this is not the right place for me to work in. This is not the kind of client that I would enjoy working with. So I trusted my heart and gut and went with that decision. And often it is a very good guide that you have to be very mindful about when you have to let your head take precedence and when you have to allow your heart to take the decision and when you have to allow your gut to call the shot. So do not always be very logical or analytical in your decisions. Many decisions are made based on emotions and survival instincts as well. So the key is that allow your head, heart, and gut to take lead in the kind of situation you are in, because that is one of the best mechanisms that I have found over a period of time to be one of the best ways to make business decisions. So those were the 5 ways in which I make my business decisions, and I hope that you will also find some use with these principles. If you have any queries related to this particular episode or any of the principles that I have shared here, feel free to drop me a query. Feel free to drop me your insight and take on it over Instagram at Roshni_Baronia. So let's meet next Thursday because there is something very exciting happening from next episode onwards. I am entirely revamping the Ace the Sales podcast, where now I am bringing on some amazing guests to the show, and I will be interviewing experts to share powerful sales mantras and entrepreneurs to share the best kept secrets that they have used to grow their business. So make sure that you subscribe to the podcast if you haven't done that already, so that you do not miss any of the upcoming amazing power-packed episodes. And I'll see you next Thursday. Thank you so much for joining in today. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It means a lot to me that you've taken out the time to spare to listen to this podcast episode. I hope I was able to provide some value to you. And if you had some learnings from today's episode, do consider leaving us a 5-star review or a rating on Apple iTunes. It will mean the world to me, and it will help me take this podcast to more and more people. And if you are planning to launch your podcast, you should definitely check out hubhopperstudio.com, because that's the place my podcast is hosted, and I am super thrilled and happy with the features and customer support they provide. Hubhopper is India's leading podcast creation platform, which can be the perfect place from where you can share your voice to the entire world. So go check out the link in the show notes, and I will see you next week.